The Mk4, Volkswagen Golf and Jetta are a pair of beloved automobiles. When they burst into the scene around the turn of the millennium, they were markedly nicer than the other compacts around. Combined with reasonable pricing and plenty of engine options, it's no surprise that they sold by the truckload. In fact, Jason Turchinsky called that generation of Jetta the platonic ideal of small car design. It and its Golf sibling were so good that they stuck around on the newer car market forever, not in the US, but in Canada, Mexico and Brazil. Bigger, plusher and more upmarket than the occasionally Sparta Mk4 models, the Golf and Jetta Mk5 just couldn't compete with the cheapest compact cars on the market. A base model 3-door 2007 new Golf started at 19,990 Canadian dollars before freight. Keep in mind, this was in 2007, when Canadians could buy a new Civic DS sedan for 16,980 Canadian dollars before freight. However, Volkswagen is a very big automaker, so its Canadian arm decided to get on the line to Brazil and Mexico and was delighted to hear that the Mk4 Golf and Jetta were still in production. However, a new name was needed. Taking inspiration from the South African City Golf, Volkswagen put City in front of the Golf and Jetta nameplates, and a new imported entry-level Volkswagen for the Canadian market was born. The 2007 City Golf and City Jetta were essentially carryover models. Same 2-liter 8-valve engine as the regular Mk4 models, same choice of 5-speed manual or 4-speed automatic gearbox, same exterior panels. The City Golf started at just $1,900 before freight and featured a tilt and telescopic steering column, body color bumpers, a coolant temperature gauge, and 8 speakers. Most base model cars in 2022 don't even come with 8 speakers. As for options, the list was short but smart. Heated seats and washer nozzles, power windows and mirrors, cruise control, alloy wheels, and even a sunroof were available. The Canadian public quite liked Volkswagen's pair of cheap and cheerful bargains, so things got even better for 2008. For starters, the available 4-speed automatic was ditched in favor of a more modern 6-speed Tiptronic unit. In addition, both the City Golf and the City Jetta got a new head unit with USB and 3.5mm auxiliary inputs and new steering wheel. The engine available were 1.6 and 2-liter petrol inline 4 or a 1.8 turbo 20-valve for the GTI GLI version. In China, FAW Volkswagen also updated the Golf under the name Bora HS. Aside from the front end from the facelifted Bora and a new set of taillights, the Golf was cosmetically unchanged in China. In 2007, Volkswagen do Brasil decided to do to the Mk4 Golf what FAW Volkswagen did to the Golf in China. I'm talking about a high-budget facelift with many updated panels, drawing inspiration from the facelifted Mk4 Polo. Volkswagen Brazil gave the Golf new headlights, a new front bumper, new fenders, a new hood, a new rear bumper and a new hatch. In Brazil, the 1.6 engine was available as total flats, which accepts both gasoline and ethanol. They also had the upper level 2-liter engine with 6-speed Tiptronic automatic transmission. Volkswagen Brazil also gave a special edition of the Mk4 Golf, the Sportline version, a special black edition with darkened headlights housing and other cosmetic tweaks, and even a GTI version. While the facelifted Brazilian Mk4 GTI doesn't feature huge cosmetic changes from the Sportline model, of course has the legendary 20-valve 1.8 turbocharged 4-cylinder engine like the other Golf Mk4 GTI. Over in China, Volkswagen FAW joint venture decided to give the Bora, how the Jetta is called over there, a bit of a mid-cycle facelift in 2006. However, instead of keeping things simple, they wanted to give it a real new design. So Volkswagen was going for the single frame grille for the same look as new Volkswagen model at the time to keep up with trends at Volkswagen. So the Bora gained a new front bumper, also new headlights with dual round element, a new hood and fenders. Around the back, the Bora gained new tail lamps with elements on the trunk lid. The old trunk lid simply had a Volkswagen badge, while the new trunk, it was new because the Volkswagen emblem was front and centered, and the new trunk lid required redesign, also the rear bumper with license plate. Of course, with license plate in the rear bumper, it needed a light, so a harness was extended to fit. In the end, the only panels shared between earlier and later cars were the quarter panel, doors, side steels and roof. This massive update to the Jetta is sometimes called the Mk4.5 in Volkswagen circles due to its extensiveness and inspiration drawn from newer models. It is also what the Canadian City Jetta looked like from 2008 onwards. Apart from side markers and badges, facelifted Canadian City Jetta appear virtually identical to these updated Chinese models. The Volkswagen Bora is a mid-size sedan manufactured by Volkswagen Mexico and exported to Brazil and Argentina. It features a 2-liter engine and comes with a 5-speed manual from 2000 until 2010, a 4-speed automatic from 2000 until 2007, and a 6-speed Tiptronic from 2008 to 2010 automatic transmission. Production began in 2000 and was discontinued in Brazil in the second half of 2015. It has been restyled during the years since its launch in Brazil. It was a more affordable version of luxury sedans in Brazil before the new Jetta and the Passat, both of which were more expensive and luxurious than the Bora. The Bora is the sedan version of the Golf Mk4, which is called Jetta in Mexico. The car continued to be manufactured in Puebla, Mexico under the name Clásico and is also exported to Argentina under the name Volkswagen Bora. This car has been sold in Argentina and Brazil since 2000, but in 2014, on August 25th, it was announced that production would cease in September 2014. This is one of the longest running models based on the Golf 4 platform. So, during the final years, it will be only sold in a single version with very basic equipment. Its replacement is the Polo sedan produced in India and marketed as Nuevo Vento. Less than 3 months before the arrival of the new model, the classic wedge in Mexico is reduced to a single version, the CL Highway, equipped with the veteran 2-liter engine and 115 horsepower as the only option, and with 2 types of transmission, a 5-speed manual gearbox or a 6-speed Tiptronic automatic. Its standard safety equipment only offers double front airbag, but ABS brakes are not offered as an option. The only comfort elements that are included are the manual air conditioning and centralized air conditioning. But sales of the Volkswagen Classic dropped in Mexico, a model that was the best-selling model in this market for many years and which in November 2013 reached the second place in the ranking of the best-selling cars. In the last month of December 2014, it was dropped to 4th place, followed by just a drop in price for the new Vento imported from India. Both models are sold at a similar price, as the new Vento Polo sedan is sold for 179,900 Mexican pesos for the style version, equipped with 1.6-liter engine and 105 horsepower, while the veteran Jetta Clásico Bora is offered for 171,930 pesos Mexican in its version with manual gearbox and 192,332 pesos in the version with Tiptronic automatic gearbox. Volkswagen Mexico also adopted the Chinese facelift of the Bora and found it to be an absolute hit. In fact, the Mexican market loved it so much that Volkswagen Mexico could justify a hot version on its own. Volkswagen fitted the beloved 1.8-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine into the facelifted Mk4 Jetta to create the last Mk4 GLI. Pushing 180 horsepower to the front tires, this fast sedan also featured a ton of exclusive cosmetic tweaks. The full lip kit, black headlamp surround aligned the car with the then current GTI, and also a nice red brake calipers. On the inside, the Mk4.5 GLI featured a flat bottom, leather-wrapped steering wheel, sport seats with grippy suede inserts, and some red stitching and brushed trims. Even among our 32 Golf and 20th anniversary GTI, this might be the ultimate Mk4 unicorn. It is very rare and also interesting. The new Jetta GLI incorporates aesthetic changes in the style of tuning, in addition to a package to increase engine performance. The seats are made out of leather and Alcantara that offer excellent lateral and lumbar support and are adorned with red stitching. This stitching is also present on the gearshift and handbrake levers and accompanies the leather-wrapped steering wheel, which offers a good grip. The GLI comes standard with ABS brakes, traction control, electronic differential lock. It also includes an interior with CD player, USB connectivity, MP3 player, and a climatronic air conditioning.